right, nobody say anything bad about the teacher. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Can you guys see your screen? Because I think I can share my screen.
Okay, why didn't you try? So let me see if I can see it here.
Whoa, what's it doing? Let me see. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Does it show you my case synapse or GenapSys case discussion?
Not yet. I can see your screen.
Does it?
I can only see your face.
Oh. All right. Well, I'll just read the questions then.
Okay.
If you can't see it anyway. Okay. Oh, Aaron could see it. Okay. Well, I'll just read the questions. Because I'm going to have to go back and forth, Aaron, and read your comments if I do it that way. All right. Do you have it with you too, Elvis? Can you see those questions by chance?
Yeah, I just opened my island page.
All right. It says to have the student read the following aloud as the group follows along. So it says, so far in this course, we have seen a few common threads and takeaways. Founders matter. Experience, passion, and vision shape the business and can make the difference between success and failure. I think we saw that. Where did we see that in? The last one. Did you guys read that Anderson? No, not the Anderson one. It was the Cake Financial.
Yeah, the Cake Financial. That was the one we did together, right?
Yes. Yeah, I like that one. I think that was he learned a lot, and I don't think that was a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think he still had a good product. Okay, so then the business plan at the founding stage of a company is a collection of hypotheses. In other words, guesses. Startups create value by systematically testing hypotheses and making changes to the plan when the test results indicate a needed change. And then early tests tell us a lot about the viability of a business and where information is needed. And previous cases analyzed business models. Previous cases analyzed business models the founders had already chosen. Now we get to see a company at the moment of choice. Okay, so you guys have both read it and everything, right? Obviously.
Yeah, you mean the case study?
Yeah, this one, the GenapSys one.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So, it says to vote which model option do you favor?
Wow, I think I really had to spend a lot of time thinking about which model I think I favor. But the three models that were prescribed, I think were really, really good.
Yeah.
But after careful thinking and pondering about all of them, I think that I have top two. My top two are the Razor and Razor Blade model, and then the data analytics model. I'm kind of torn between both, which one I think it's more suitable, but I tend to go with the Razor and Razor Blade model. I think that works.
Okay. Aaron, you want to type out something real quick and I'll just read it so we at least have it on the video? Yeah, I think before I kind of skimmed it and I kind of did my choice, but after going back and rereading it real carefully, I kind of like you. I like the Razor and Razor Blade one. And I think it was because one of the statements that was made was that they were going to be able to expand the market.
Yes, even into other industries apart from just the health sector.
Yeah, like if they go into the regular strategy, they're going to be trying to have
face
a market
competition.
Yeah, they're going to have a market share, and I mean, knowing that, I wouldn't. I mean, why? Why would you? If you had
Yeah,
the choice, you don't really necessarily have to have. You don't
yeah,
need
and
it.
if you consider the fact that they are a startup and they are already uh, market leaders in the industry, like you talk about Life
Yeah.
Technologies, and then I think the other one is called what's the name again? Both of those ones are very
Hmm.
big right now, and so trying to drive them out of the market is going to be difficult. I think they gave an example of uh, a company that did that a few years back that kind of reduced their prices because they wanted to beat the competition. But what the bigger companies did was to drop their own prices below the
Hmm.
price of the
Uh,
startup to the
uh-huh.
point that the startup could not even meet up, and then they had to file for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So
That
I think
was
that, yeah,
interesting. So Erin said that she agrees with the razor blade option is her choice. It was against the third choice because it was just seemed too complicated to get on the market.
yeah,
And you're right because they did come in later, so the market was already established,
yes,
and the scientists and the people who actually use it already knew who they liked and what they could get from like the NCS ones.
yeah,
So I think that was interesting. And this way they not only they can sell their machines cheaper this way, but then they keep bringing in income
yeah,
continually. Once somebody has a machine, they're going to have that machine for years and years and years, and so you're not going to ever sell that machine again.
exactly.
You limit your customer base. Okay, and it says give each person who voted a chance to share why he or she voted that way. They did. Okay, we did that. Um, if a choice is left without someone voting for it, as a group, discuss the pros and cons of that choice as well. Specifically, each alternative. Yeah, so then it says discuss the number of potential customers, which customers would be expected to pay for the product. So, like we were just kind of saying, the first choice, they said they only had a potential of like 2,000 customers. I think
Yeah,
that's what I read. Yeah. Um, and then for like, oh wait, hang on, she's fine. My mic option is now working, so I can. Oh, good. Aaron, can you hear us? Or can you talk? I can't hear you if you are. That's okay. We'll keep going. Um, let's talk about that third option for a minute because I don't know that I necessarily understand all of it.
okay,
And that was the data analysis. So
yeah,
basically, what they're going to do is they're just going to make a machine, give it to people to use, but then those people have to send in the results anyway to the company. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so people would have to take the machines and then allow them access to their uh, text samples, and so they'll put it in their database. And so subsequently, anybody that wants to do that, wants access to the database, would have to pay them. And they also plan on setting up an app store, more like what Apple have.
Uh huh. Okay.
Mhm. So
So
the all
then,
the okay.
yeah, go ahead. I'm just
So
thinking.
all the information about the different people will be on the database. And so let's say if government agencies and research institutions want information on these statistics, they can log on to their website and get them, but they will have to be charged a fee. And so their plan was that that is going to generate a lot of profit because people will have to pay fees to access the data on their website.
So do you think that it would be cheaper to employ people to read that stuff like that and have them in a storefront, or do you think it would be cheaper just to have a few salesmen who go out and sell?
I
Um,
think with the data analytic model, it's more expensive in the sense that you're going to talk about a lot of money invested in research and development. You're talking about
mhm.
more inventory. for them to handle. So that means you have to invest more money because you're going to have a different, uh, maybe an IT department that has to develop a website, and they are not experts in that area. And so that means they have to spend another amount of money
Uh-huh.
developing that and setting up a different department that would achieve that. And so I think it's easier with the other model where they have a small, because he talked about the fact that they needed a small team or maybe 20 to 30 people. But with the other model, they have to employ more people. So that means
Yeah.
spending more money.
Eh, yeah. I don't. I guess that's. I guess it's a version that you can that they're talking about that you can eventually, change to.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they would do that right away. I guess. Are there other competitors that are likely to respond to the data How do you say that? Analytics.
Analytics. Yeah. I mean, it, they have quite a number of competitors. One thing I noticed in the case was they said that there are other people, they want to do this quickly and get it done before other people come up with the idea and launch it before them,
Uh-huh.
because their belief was that being the first to start it gives you an advantage. And so any other person coming into the industry would have to compete with you and kind of take you up. By then you would have already been established. So there's a line I wanted to read. Let me see if I can pull
Okay.
it up.
Okay.
Where are you? Come on, come on.
Yeah, I guess right here it did say that it carries high risks.
Uh,
Erin said she lost the sound. Can you hear me now?
uh-oh. Is she here?
I don't know.
Okay, I think I've seen what I wanted
Okay.
to read.
Okay.
It is on page, let me see, I think page 12.
Okay.
Um, okay. Okay, said getting a genetic database up and running had a first mover advantage. And if it were to go down to this part, GenapSys wanted it in place before another major
Mm,
entity decided to enter the field. To get there, GenapSys needed a critical volume of customers to have significant genetic data in the database. The company planned to have a small sales force, believing that customers' interest would be would be so great it could largely respond to incoming demand. To achieve this, management foresaw a need to use other marketing tools such as social media and
hmm
to have an e-commerce platform for customers to buy directly from Genapsys without the need for a direct sales force. And so you see, they are also anticipating competition. So they want to get ahead before any other person comes in. But I think other people have a similar idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that would be weird. That's weird. That's kind of a weird market.
It is. It is.
But although, okay, this is what I was thinking about this case study too, from the Anderson Horowitz case. Like,
Yeah.
I never really talked about venture capitalists before, and like, I don't understand that whole world. Um, but I was thinking they have such a good, um, what do you call it? They have a good idea that they could move that idea not just in the tech market, but now, like they had mentioned in the case study, what if they put that toward clean fusion or the
Yeah.
biotech industry? Then they could if they put their money into that, it would make those industries boom, right? Because people would then want the education for that. They
Yeah.
would start the innovations for that. If somebody were to be willing to put the money and gamble into that. So I think that this same thing applies. If
Yep.
people, if the capitalists, if the founders or the money people put some money into that,
Yep.
this could be something that could go fast.
That's true.
Although I just don't know that there's a market for gene sequencing.
Synapses. Yeah.
I mean, I don't need it. I guess I have people in my ward who would need it, but it just doesn't seem like it's an everyday product.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an everyday product. That's true. I mean, the first time I read, I was like, how does this affect me? I mean,
Yeah.
but
Be-
that was my first thought, like, how does it affect me? Unless I don't
Mhm.
know. But what I think he went ahead to talk about, apart from using it in the health sector, he was also talking about using it in the agricultural sector
Oh
for
yes.
research in the development of different plant species, like different rice species and all that. And so I think they can actually adopt this to meet other sectors, which is why I think the um, razor and razor blade model works, because that
Yeah.
allows them to actually diversify into other sectors, agriculture and other areas apart from just
hmm
pure health sector.
Yeah, because they're going to be spend or selling, um, just the pieces to it. So I guess the test cartridges for $50 to $100.
Yeah,
Not only do you have all the medical field now, but now you have the farming field
yeah,
buying those products.
that's true.
So yeah, they're going to need the machines. They're going to sell the machines once, but now they have to keep selling the products for those.
Yes. And I think another good thing about the razor blade model is the fact that they talk about two things they want to sell: the actual machines and then the cartridges. And so they sell the cartridge differently and then they sell the machine differently.
Uh
And so
huh.
they envisage making money from both.
Yeah. Um, Aaron, do you wanna type anything out and give us your opinion on that, or I'll try and keep watching your chat so make sure
Oh,
we get
sorry,
your in.
Erin.
I know we'll get your input in there. I promise. Um, let's see. We're just gonna go on just a little bit. What are the founders' goals and what are the investors' goals?
Okay, let me.
um, I mean, I don't know that. I mean, obviously, the investors are going to want to see money, and they're going to want to see a high, fast turnaround,
Yeah,
which is which is like what 7 years, according to the stuff last week that we read about.
yeah,
Venture capitalists want to see it within like 7 years, otherwise they're going to dump you. But these guys, I don't think that he said he's not in it for the money really. He wants to see a change in the medical field. And
yeah.
sometimes I think that's awesome. I think that we need to have more people like that.
Yeah, it's true. I think the goal the inventor had in mind, one of his goals was to produce a machine that can change uh, medicine in general,
Uh huh.
something that would affect the life of people directly and change people's life, that can improve how diagnoses of diseases are made, that can improve how research into treatment and medicine are made. So I think he does a part where he talked about the fact that his mother told him early in life that he should use his education to help people, to help better the life of people. And so he said from that time onwards, he made it his personal ideology about life. And so his goal was not just to make money with this product, but to bring up a product that can actually change the face of medicine and then affect the lives of people in a positive manner.
I agree. I think that's sometimes we have to, is it about the money or is it about the growth or is it about, the actual product?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's true. But I
Interesting.
think that if when you have a good product, Uh, every other thing can just fall in place because if the product is good, you can make more money and then you can grow because demand for the product would increase, and the more there is demand, the more you are likely to stay in business and the more you can actually strategize and grow.
Yeah.
So a lot depends on having a good product
Yeah.
that beats that of the competition.
Yeah. Um, did you check out that spreadsheet yet?
Yeah, I checked it out. I kind of have it open, but I'm not very good at Excel. I
Oh,
just couldn't work the math.
um, I, I, I haven't gone too far into it. I opened it and I started playing around with some stuff, but this is what's going to be really interesting to look at.
Okay.
Um, um, how fast they grow and what they can do within the first 5 years and then the 6 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you think that they should be? Do you think they should be in that 1 to 5, or do you think that it should be in the 6 to 10?
Let me look at the spreadsheet again.
Erin says that she thinks it's about the product and the growth of the company. They really won't seem like they want to help people. So I think she's right. I think
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do. Um, they're investors. Obviously, if people are going to put millions of dollars into this, I think that they're going to want to see them grow faster. But obviously, you want your money as fast as you can.
It's
But
true.
sometimes patience is a little bit of a virtue. Something I
Yeah.
don't always have.
And this product actually requires a lot of patience from the investors.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to look at this real. I have the spreadsheets pulled up. I'm just kind of seeing if I can read it.
Okay. I just
Um,
wish I can see your screen.
I know.
Mhm.
um, well, we can keep going on about that because I think that's gonna be something to look at when you get done here and when you do your analysis.
Yeah.
Make sure you put those in there. Use a polling tool that allows students to vote and see the overall results. And go through the following questions using the Excel model you created before class, answering the questions individually and then compare. Um, let's see, what's next? We can do that. We can do that. I can see if I can get my screen to share. Um, what strategies have we seen that flatten or lengthen the cash flow curve? Um, yeah, so I think we need to open that Excel spreadsheet. Discuss the same for the Rent the Runway. If the founders had been able to convince the dress designers to retain ownership of the dress, what impact would it have had? Ooh, that's an interesting one to think about. Let me see if Erin said anything. She's going to give up on trying to get her mic to work. Okay, that's fine.
I think, I think she can just continue typing. As long
Yeah,
as she can hear us, it's okay.
yeah. Um, yeah, we're going to have to go into this. See, I did really bad in my accounting class.
Oh, you're not the only one. I'm taking accounting 202 right now,
Oh,
managerial accounting,
it's
and I'm really
terrible.
struggling.
It's
I'm struggling like seriously.
Yeah. Who's your teacher?
Sandra Powell.
Okay. Yeah. We had it was just my sister and I both did it together, and we'd spend hours and hours, and I got like a 69%. If I had just gotten 1% better, then
Yeah, me too. That's exactly the same score I got, 69.
I
I
have to
ended
take it
up with a
again.
D. Yeah.
Anyway, so when I read these, when I look at this spreadsheet, it just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron? um, um, Let's see. Was there anything else from the text before we go into trying doing the math that you guys want to talk about or that you found interesting? Or
You
is
mean
it
from the
all?
text?
Yeah, from the case
Oh,
study.
okay.
Sorry, I cannot think.
Okay.
Is there anything else like there? I don't know if you noticed like in the exhibits, but everybody that they hired, again, the education from those guys is amazing.
Yeah.
I sit back and I think, man, what am I doing with my life? I don't know.
Yeah, in the concluding part of the case study, I think the founder and the other guy, they made a very important point that I think it's very good. I think I can read that. Um, they recognized there was no obvious choice. I mean, each of the models influenced how the company would develop in terms of its customer base, sales and marketing, application of its technology, finance, future capital needs, and ownership. The two also recognized the need to balance the company's care value with investors' expectation for a strong financial return.
Mhm.
Which model helps? So at the end of the day, you could see that either model could work, both the razor and razor blade, and then the what's it called, analytics model.
Mhm.
Either one of them could work, but I just think that it is a difficult call to make here.
Yeah. Um. I mean, if they have, let's just keep it at the model with the teacher put in here at first. So they have a
Okay.
5% sales growth and a 5% EBIT in sales and a 25% NOA sales. I mean, they've got a pretty steady growth, and then they kind of break even at year 6. And they start making money.
Yeah.
Um, but it's gonna take them, according to this, about 2 years to make the money that they need to get out of debt. So if we change that, let's just not even give them as big of a sales growth. Let's just say like 2.5% sales and 2.5. Oops, 2.5 of that, and let's just say 15. What? Yeah, I
What did
didn't
you
do that.
see? Okay.
I did not do that. There's no way. Hang on. Let me see. You have to see this. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let's start that one. Okay, can you see that now, Elvis?
No, I still can say it. I don't know if there's a problem with my webcam.
Oh, well, it is kind of crazy. Um, it. Let's see. Oh, Aaron can see it, but you see, if I just changed, see if I can go back to it. When I changed the sales growth and the sales and the NOA sales. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I might add a typo in my thing. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so it takes about 7 years if we lower that a little bit. That's not terrible. Um, oh my goodness, what did I just do? I don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to talk about this stuff. I guess I don't understand how it's supposed to add into our thing. Let's just go to other questions.
Okay, I can see it now.
Oh, you can. Did I just turn
Finally.
it off? Oh,
Yep.
there we go. Okay. Well, let's see if I can. Can you still see it? It's still up there?
Yes.
Am I
Yeah, I
moving
can
through?
still see it. I
Okay.
can, yeah.
Okay. Let's try to make it smaller so you guys can see it. See these numbers? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if, let's see, we're thinking that we want to stick with this razor blade strategy. What does it look like? Huh. I have to really sit and look at this stuff. I haven't gone past this part. Let's see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yet. Let's just read some of these questions. Discuss as a group what strategies have we seen that flatten or lengthen the cash flow curve. So really, like, did you guys watch the videos? But he was talking about how not necessarily having higher sales, it kind of makes that curve go longer for the cash flow. So they might do well in sales, but their cash flow, they're still not going to make enough money. It's going to take longer.
Yeah.
Next, describe to each other what would happen to Dr. John's if they had decided to build an independent company rather than get acquired. What activities would John have had to do it differently? And what impact on the cash flow curve would these activities have? Flatten or steepen, shallow or deepen, increase, decrease. Oh man, they would have spent way more money.
Of course.
Yeah, they would have needed to have a new facility and distribution, marketing, sales, everything. So they definitely would have spent more money. Let's see what else. The cash flow curve would have shrank. Let me think how it would have gone. It would have gone much deeper, and it would have curved instead of going in like a straight line.
Yep.
Discuss the same for Rent the Runway. I think theirs actually might have done better if the people would have rented the dress and then had to bought it afterwards at a discounted price. I think they would have made more money. Because what are they going to do? My question was, what are they going to do with that stuff after the season's over?
Yeah.
They were going to have all that product. They were going to have 150 dresses, the same dress or whatever it was, in different sizes, and then what are they going to do with it? Nobody's going to want to wear it when it's not in style. So they could sell it at a discount. I don't know. Let's see. What else do we have to ask? Oh my goodness, are you guys watching me? I'm like all over the place on this mouse. What decision did Drew Houston make in Dropbox that favorably impacted the cash flow curve? So in the Dropbox case, what did he do that made the cash flow get better?
I didn't do the Dropbox, so that's why it seems as if I'm not talking. I told you last time, the first 2 weeks of the semester, I didn't take any of those.
You didn't go back and read them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Aaron, do you have any ideas for Dropbox? Do you remember? What did he do? Sorry, I don't mean the subscription deals. Yeah. I think for his, let's see, did he make favorably impact? He had kind of a hard time, actually, I think. Just because I'm trying to remember exactly what he did. Keep going back and forth on this too. So yeah, his subscription deals, that brought him in favorable. But I honestly think selling the company was probably the best bet. That's going to give him all the cash he needed. So, yeah. Come on. My computer, I keep hitting the wrong buttons. I don't know if you guys can see all what I'm doing. Now let's look at the choices GenapSys has from a cash flow standpoint. For each business model option under consideration, compare the following. The net present value, and how will GenapSys raise funds to support each option? Is any option clearly more attractive to investors? Yeah, so I think what we really need, I mean, this spreadsheet is going to help us out the most. Let's see what's down here. I just don't know how to read it is my problem. I just don't understand.
Okay. How to interpret the...
Yeah. And which ones we should be changing to see. I guess we could do this. Initial value. 40. Unit. I'm just putting in random numbers, so I have no idea. You know, they could make 60% of their growth in the first 5 years if they had $10,000 per unit. Data strategy. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to do it right so that it... I guess maybe the unit... Let's see. What does it variance anything? No, I gotta check that. I don't know. I don't know how to read it. I guess... What would I do? What would the unit cost? If I made this 10,000, the unit cost would stay the same, and then have a 70% gross margin. 30% working capital. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I suck at this. I don't know what we're doing with those.
Me too.
Sorry, teacher. Okay, I think what we need to do is there was one where we have to vote at the end, and we have to make sure that the teacher knows where to start listening, so he knows what our votes are. So I'll make a note of that. But put yourself in the shoes of these two founders. I don't know how to say their names, and I'm not even going to try. You must decide as a group which business model you will choose. Be ready to explain this choice in your post-discussion write-up. So, I think I'm gonna stick with my razor blade only because I can see they could keep their costs lower. As in, yes, they would probably need some kind of manufacturing plant that's going to manufacture the cartridges and stuff that they're going to use. They're going to have shipping and that kind of stuff, but you could keep that fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
And with the um, other one, you're gonna have to have salespeople. The first one. What do they
Yep.
call that one again? This first one, the traditional sales, they're gonna need the salespeople. They're gonna have to sell their the machines more expensive, and then the cartridges are gonna be more expensive. And they're not gonna sell as many, I don't think.
That's true.
I just think
And
that there's a continual option for the razor to razor, or razor to razor
mhm.
blade.
I also want to stick to the razor and razor blade option because if you look at the estimated growth rate between 1 to 5 years, uh, it has about 60% compared to 10% of
Uh-huh.
the traditional sales model. And then if between 6 to 10 years, it has 30% growth rate, whereas the traditional sales model has 5% growth rate. If you go further up to look at other factors to consider, things like their fixed assets, they have about 20.6%. If you also look at let me look at this, what was it called? Their gross margin, it's
Uh-huh.
about 58.8%, whereas the data strategy has just about 19%. So I would want to stick to this razor and razor blade model for these reasons.
Uh-huh.
And I probably may not probably be reading the information right, but from what I see, I think this is a better model. So I vote this.
Okay. Yeah, I think Erin says that she votes for the razor blade option as well because the greater potential for growth, and it seems like the better
Yes,
option of the three. You're
exactly.
right.
Because
Go ahead.
because when I look at it, the most important thing I saw was the growth rate, and the growth rate within 1 to 5 years it's 60%. And you're talking about investors who are putting money into this business, they expect return within the shortest possible period of time. And their growth rate seems high. At 60%, they should be able to recoup. And then in 10 years, they will continue to have 30% growth rate, which is, I think, it's very good for any startup.
Yeah. And then, like they said at one point, they might start off with this razor to razor, and then they might want to go into the data analytics because
Yes,
they've got their product backing them already. People are going to see
exactly,
how well their product is, and then they're going to want to do that. So then they're going to
exactly,
expand their market again.
exactly.
They're going to be selling these machines to normal people,
That's
you
true.
know.
And because they are already in the market through this razor and blade model, any other
Yeah.
model they adopt subsequently would definitely help them have more growth because, like you rightly said, they are already established. Their product is already out there. People know it, and so whatever they do from that after that time will still bring them success. That is my
Uh-huh.
own opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Um, do we have any other opinions or things to add that we need to do? Anybody? Aaron? Give her a chance to type real quick. Nothing? Alright, cool. Um, do you feel, Elvis, are we good? Do you feel like we discussed it enough?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I just probably need to spend more time to
Yeah.
study the spreadsheet
Yeah, me too.
and then to do further analysis on the,
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do too.
yeah, so I can better understand it.
Yeah.
Because throughout the semester, honestly, I've not been able to complete any assignment. I've had a hard time compiling reading these old case studies and writing the report. It's a whole new thing to me. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
But I know if I continue to go down that way, I might not pass the class. So I just want to do everything I can to understand
Yeah.
the case studies and then
Yeah.
see how far I can go from here.
I think this was a hard case study for me only because the first part of it I don't feel like it had anything to do with what the actual question was about.
Yeah,
This first, I don't know, 5 pages was kind of like background.
Yeah, they spend so much time explaining the
Yeah. Yeah, that was hard. So,
took me
all
an
right.
hour to read
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah. Um, she said the same thing while reading the case study. Yep. There was just I was like, what's the point of this? So, I gotta go back through and weed out the important stuff. Um, so what I will do then is I will put the link for this in the discussion board, and you guys can copy and paste it into your poll that you'll need.
Okay.
So it'll be on the discussion board. All right.
All right.
Should we? I'm gonna stop the broadcast right here, but stay on.